Imagine feeling completely lost, doubting yourself at every step you take, struggling with self love, self trust, and with life in general. Until one day everything shifts. This is Aida's story. Aida came to me at one of the darkest moments of her life, where she felt stuck in self doubts and frustration. She had no idea how to get out of this darkness, and she had no idea how to love herself. But through deep inner work, she didn't just heal, she transformed. Her entire life changed. And today, inspired by her own healing journey, she herself became a coach, and she's using now hypnosis and other powerful tools to do deep inner healing work, helping others to break free like she once did. So, this isn't just a success story, this is the proof that transformation is possible for anyone. So stay with me and see the power of true transformation in this inspiring conversation with Aida. Hi everyone, welcome. Today I'm super excited. I'm here with a former client of mine and now a dear colleague, Aida. She is also an RTT coach, and I'm super excited that she is here with me and she will share a little bit about her journey. First of all, how we worked together, and then also going through the RTT training. And now she is a coach. She is an RTT, a hypno coach. And yeah, let's see. I'm super excited. Thank you for being here with me today, Aida. How are you?
Yeah, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here and making the time to talk about your experience, which is very important. I'm so sure that many people can't wait to hear how it was because a lot of people are curious. They want to do deep inner work, but then they are
Mhm.
hesitant. But now let's start at the beginning. I remember when you came to me, it was almost 1.5 years ago, I believe.
Mhm.
And so, if you'd like to share what was going on when you decided to seek help, when you decided to get support, what was the realization that was going on that you wanted to make a change?
Well, for me, I was like, I can say I was constantly feeling low in energy. I was like questioning everything and just feeling constantly dissatisfied. And I was just like not happy with my life. And I feel like the issues I had already, I worked on, and they kept coming up again and again, and which also lead to kind of a frustration. And that was like the point where I just realized, okay, I got to seek like for support and help again.
So you said you were low of energy and like you felt a bit stuck. That's what I hear in your words. Was there a main topic you wanted to work on?
Basically, on like trusting myself, like self love, self trust, self worth. These were all the themes. Like, to be honest, I had quite a few of areas of concern. But I mean, you helped me when I booked a discovery call with you. You really helped me to find the root cause of my issue back then. And I think at the end, we worked on self love. Yes.
And I'd love to go into that in depth a little bit more. But before, what was it? How did you find me? And what was it that you decided to work with me and with the approach I'm doing? Like I'm a
Hmm.
therapeutic life coach. I also use hypnosis. How did you decide to use that versus any kind of other therapy, or did you do any other therapy before?
Hmm. Well, to be honest, yes, I tried therapy and group coaching before. And I think at that time it was helpful for me. But like I noticed that these issues didn't like really get resolved. So And I always heard about like this conscious mind, the subconscious mind. And I remember a friend of mine, she did an RTT session, and I was like, okay, I need to Google it. I need to find out more about it. And I found you on Google actually. And I was scrolling through, and I felt like when I was on your page, like you seem very authentic to me. Even the pictures on your page and even the colors you picked for your homepage. Because I can say for myself personally, I'm like very sensitive to these things, and I feel like my nervous system was calm, and yeah, I just booked a discovery call because I was so curious about it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this. And I know also that many people, like you said, also you're very sensitive with certain things and you
Mm-hmm.
want to check out the people first. Many people who even come then to a discovery call, and I'm very sure that many don't even dare to. They're very hesitant about taking the
Mm,
step because it's also deep, intimate, personal work. And would- can you share a little bit about if and what you were nervous about before
mm,
starting the work when you booked, and then also how, if you were nervous about something, this fear or whatever you were concerned
yes.
about played out in reality later?
For me personally, I cannot even say that I was anxious or that I like felt fearful. Like, cause I was like, for me, it was like more curiosity, and I was so curious, and I like wanted to understand myself better, like really wanted to heal from deep inside and just get a better understanding of myself and awareness because um, you know what for me, like I understand like you can't change what you don't really know, right? So, and I remember from a scale from 1 to, you asked me this in the call, from a scale from 1 to 10, like how important is it for you? And I'm about 9, 10, so I really took this serious. So for me, it was like more important that I want to get better rather than feeling like fearful or anything. And I'm always so curious about myself. I always feel like, okay, there is something, but I don't really understand what it is. And I feel like, okay, maybe someone can help me to understand myself much better, which you did actually. Even on a discovery call, like immediately I feel like, okay, you understand me. Like I don't even have to say much, but you understand what I'm trying to say. And yeah. So to be honest, I felt like really safe and seen and understood, even like
Mm.
in the short call.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I'm so happy that you felt safe. And yes, I remember when you came, you were 100% committed
Mm,
to do the work, because this is also sometimes, especially when people know that I also work with hypnosis, that some people don't understand. Although I use hypnosis, they have
mm,
to do the work. And that's
yes.
why I can only work with people who are committed to do the
Mhm,
work, because they at the end of the day have to do the work, and you did. And deep work is not very comfortable, it's not very pleasant. What comes after, that's the beauty. When you went through the healing, but the healing process itself, I know it also from my personal healing story, it's very painful. So that's why I ask always these questions, and especially also the one on a scale from 1 to 10, how committed are you? And you were
mhm,
super committed. That's why, yeah, I knew that we can successfully work together.
mhm,
And the other thing you shared I like so much is that you are very reflective. So you always like to discover what's going on inside.
mhm,
And that's also such a good sign that I know, oh, that's really a person I can really help successfully, because they will apply what we do together. doesn't make sense if people come to me and then we have a 1 hour coaching session or even 2 hour hypnosis session,
mm,
and then they leave and then they forget everything about it and go back to their old life and do whatever they've
mm,
done before. But in your case, you applied everything immediately, and you also gave yourself the time and space to let it work, to let it continue to work inside. You listen to the
mm,
audio and everything. So yeah, that brings me already to my next question, because as you said, the work I offer is I work with the conscious and the subconscious mind. So because 95% of everything we do, think, and say is in the subconscious. And it's important to work on the conscious mind also. But if we ignore the subconscious, then the bigger part of the mind, the part where the programs, where the patterns, the behavior, and the
mm.
harmful beliefs lay, if we ignore that, then it's not a lasting effect and we cannot really, really change from deep inside. So we did the deep work. We did work with coaching, but also with hypnosis. And I'm very curious, how was this process for you? How did you feel while doing that? And was there a moment when it made click and when you could see, okay, now I get it. Now I
Mm.
can break free, this liberation process.
I remember back then, like I was struggling with that feeling because I remember you told me like I need to feel it. Like, how do I want my life to flourish? You know, of course, I had this imagination, and then feelings they come up, and then I think between the discovery call and the session, I had time to think about it, and I remember it was really like I had a hard time to really go into the feeling and really like ask myself, what do you really want, right? So I needed to sit with these feelings and really think about it. And I remember after that session, I think we had 24 hours later a call, right? And I really felt
Mhm.
like, okay, something happened within me. Like I was happy. I was really happy. Like it was amazing. But I feel like my mind was fighting it. Like my mind was not allowing it. I don't know. It was just so like a new feeling for me, and I couldn't like really navigate through it. But then we talked about it, and you told me, which is like it's a total normal feeling. It's like your brain just functions differently, and then you explained these things to me, which really helped me. Even like after like the period, those 21 days where I was listening to the audio, I remember I had like tiny moments where I felt like shifting back again because it's just a brain thing, but I understood that your brain always like wants to save you, right? And always goes back to what it knows. So I really need to stick to my work and get things done. And I always felt like you were the rock because of course, doubts came up, but one message from you, and I felt like I was back on track. Okay, you got to stick to the plan. So yeah, yeah, that was like the process for me.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's right. So we did the dive deep hypnosis
Mm-hmm.
session, and then the next day, I always check in with my clients, because I know
Mm-hmm.
also from my own experience, but now with working with many, many clients, that always something shifted. But
Mm-hmm.
depends on the person if they notice it or not, and how they notice. And yeah, I remember that it was a click. It was a
Yeah.
real click in your case, and yeah, I gave you the audio. Like everyone
Mm-hmm.
gets a personalized hypnosis audio to listen to for 21 days, about 21
Mm-hmm.
days. And it's also very important. That's why also I need to look at
Mm-hmm.
people committed, because when you listen in these 3 or 4 weeks to the audio, it it's installing and it's making this new neural pathway deeper and deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, well, your mind always wants to protect you and wants to go back to the familiar. So in that moment, when we feel, okay, now there is this big lasting change, your mind will try anything that it can to to grab you
Mhm.
and guide you back to the familiar. But you were so committed and you continued listening. You went the path until it became your new familiar. And then your
Mhm.
subconscious and your mind, your conscious and your subconscious, they were on board too. And now this is your new normal, so to say,
Mhm.
which was at the beginning unfamiliar.
True. I remember
Okay.
even during the session once, like, because it is exhausting for sure, right? Like, it is intense. It can be, like, get really intense. And at some point, I remember I was like, "No, I don't wanna talk," you know? But then you helped me through. You really helped me through, and I remember you used words actually only I would use, you know? So you were so intuitive, just saying words which could come out of my mouth, but I didn't at that time, didn't have the strength or, was struggling at some point for sure to speak them out loud. And you really, really helped me. And that was like also an amazing moment for me. Like, how do you know what's within me, Because, yeah, that's
And
what I wanted to
what
add. That was like very special moment for me. Really, it's like, can she see me like from deep inside?
thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that. And yeah, indeed, this is also um, the people I choose to work with. I need
Mm,
to feel the connection, and this connection has
mm,
to be from both sides. This is also a reason why I do the first free discovery call. Because if
mm,
there is a connection, then we can connect in a deeper level. I'm very intuitive, and
mm,
when I do both coaching or the deep dive hypnosis session, in both
mm,
cases, I tune into the person in front of me. And that means I'm so connecting, I'm observing everything, the body, the mimic, what you said
mm,
before. And at the point when we do a hypnosis session, we knew each other already a little bit. We had coaching before, we had
mhm,
other connection points before. I need to know people before I do hypnosis. And the better we know, the more you can trust me and the better I can tune into you. And this is
mm,
something it's really important for me that I work. Yes, I have my methods. I have beautiful methods and tools, but more important than any methods, more important than any tool is the intuition, is the connection we have. We are
mm.
humans. We want to connect. And that's where the healing
True,
starts. Where we
true.
connect from heart to heart. Well, thank you for mentioning that. And I'm so happy that you remember this.
Yeah, for sure. How can I not?
That Yeah, and I contacted you like about a
Mm,
year after our work together, and you you tell me, or you tell the audience, what's different between the Aida from back then before we met and
mm.
now today. What would you say changed?
Well, Aida is very nice to Aida. It's like the way I talk to myself changed, like really rapidly. Like I do enjoy journaling a lot, and it's just crazy the way I talk to myself, the way that I think about myself is just so positive, empowering, and like really
And how was it
lovely.
before?
Very different. Like really different. Like I almost like mostly bashed myself. It's like really tough. Like which was my normal, but now it's just like it's not happening. And I'm really sensitive. Even talking to my friends when they talk about themselves, I'm like, girl, we don't talk like this to each other. Like you don't talk to yourself like this. We stop it right here. Like I really get sensitive about these points because it is important, words have power, right? So I can say this is an immense shift for myself. Like I trust myself more, like I'm listening to myself more. I'm not neglecting myself. Like I'm more connected to my intuition. And I feel like everything what really happens in life is just like for me. It's just not like I don't feel like life is against me. So everything is either way like a lesson or a blessing. So I'm like I feel more calm and safe within me, I can tell for sure. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that. And I know that you also decided to become an RTT
Mhm.
practitioner, an RTT coach, and you already went through the training. So when I contacted you after a year to see how you are, you
Mhm.
you shared the news with me, and I was super excited for you that you now also are out there helping other people. And I'm very curious about why did you decide to become an RTT coach yourself? What made you, go that direction too
Mhm.
after?
Because, because it really works rapidly. Like, I spent years being like in therapy, coaching, reading books, but I like deep inside, like I gained like an understanding, but things don't really changed within me. And I felt like also like everything what happens like wasn't my fault. And it's just that even though it was not my fault, but I still believe like you can change your life right now, because you can create the life you want to live. And RTT was an amazing help. Of course, you still need to do the work. It's like not done within a session for sure. Healing takes time, but I feel like it's amazing in terms of like even understanding yourself much better because like I said before, you cannot change anything which you don't know and you don't know. You don't know until you know. So it's just amazing. It's like a really powerful tool. And I only feel like it's the beginning. I think you should always strive to learn more and never stop to educate yourself and everything, but still I think, like, for me, it was like a game changer. It's really changed my life positive, and I want to start from there now. So, yeah. Sure.
So beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing this. And yeah, so I'm excited that you now do the same,
Mhm.
that you help other people heal, you guide them through their healing journey. And I will, in the description, I will put contact details where people can find you, where they can contact you. But maybe you want to share.
Yes. You can find me on Instagram. My name is Hypnosoul, and it's still work in progress, but I'm happy over every DM.
And I really, really encourage everyone out there to check out Aida. She's not only a beautiful soul and woman, but an amazing coach and hypno coach. So check her out and contact her. And yeah, Aida, before we end this conversation, which I enjoyed so much, is there any last words you want to share with the audience?
What I can say is you have everything within yourself, I believe, and that for sure. But it's always like you can always seek for support, for tools or guidance. But I'm like really, really deeply, strongly believe once you connect with your intuition, once you really want to get to know who you are, life is happening for you. And it's going to be an amazing journey.
So beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And now, so many people can come to you and seek the guidance if they feel stuck, if they don't know how to love themselves, if they don't know how to trust themselves. And you can, and you will, and you do already, you hold them, their hands, although they have the answers inside, which is so beautiful, but you are a beautiful guide. So be there with them through the journey. And thank you so much, Aida, for today, for making the time to be there with me. And yeah, I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
If you found this video helpful, then please like it and don't forget to subscribe. It really supports my work and it helps me to reach even more people who might need this transformational work. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm sending you so much love and see you in the next video.